Toronto Maple Leafs head coach Sheldon Keefe is out. For more on this, we bring in our Lindsay Dunn. And Linz, I'm going to say not a lot of people shocked by this.
No, it's about as shocking as people finding out Kim Kardashian's not a natural blonde. The writing was on the wall for this pretty much last season when GM Kyle Dubas was relieved of his duties for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they brought in Brad Treliving. Many thinking that Keefe wouldn't even get his contract renewed last summer, which they renewed it for 2 years in August. But it's because of the relationship between Kyle Dubas and Sheldon Keefe. It goes all the way back to 2012 when Dubas hired Sheldon Keefe as the head coach of the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds OHL team when he was a GM. Then you saw Keefe go into the Marlies system and then eventually get hired as head coach, with Dubas being a big part of that. So not a lot of people shocked by this. And the fact that, last year, yes, they did get past that second round, but this year we all know their fate. They were out in Game 7 in the first round with the Bruins, and it is Stanley Cup or bust for this team. It's all results driven, and the fact that they need change. It's been a long time since the Leafs have been anywhere near that world of Stanley Cup. And as we know in the sports world, the easiest thing to do is to get rid of the coach or manager on a sports team.
Okay, so Linz, Sheldon Keefe has been at the helm since 2019. Let's take a look back. What has he done for this team?
Well, he definitely changed the morale in the room. He replaced the ever-controversial head coach, Mike Babcock. We all kind of know about his antics and how he was treating the team, and he definitely gave them a bit of a morale boost. Then, for the first time since 2004, he helped them book their ticket to the second round of the playoffs when they beat Tampa last year. But then their performance in the second round against Florida, it wasn't really anything to write home about. But when you look at overall his record with the Toronto Maple Leafs in the regular season, it was pretty phenomenal. It was just 212, 97, 110, which that is a winning record, but we know when it comes to hockey, regular season doesn't mean anything. It's all about performance in the playoffs. And when you even look back to his time with the Marlies, he had a fantastic winning record, even helping them win the Calder Cup in 2018. So he's helped change the morale of this team. He helped get them past that first round, but that is just not enough, especially all the money being poured into this franchise. You want them to see that Stanley Cup get anywhere near the name, except for when we look back to, hey, they haven't won some since 1967. So he did do a lot, but just obviously not enough.
Linz, the big question is, Keefe is out. Who is in? What are you hearing anything?
That is a multi-million-dollar question, because we are sure that whoever the new head coach will sign a multi-million-dollar contract. It is being rumored that they could introduce a head coach as early as tomorrow, when we're hearing from Leafs management for the first time since the end of their season and the firing of Sheldon Keefe. A couple names that are being thrown around are Craig Berube, the former head coach of the St. Louis Blues, and a name that a lot of Leafs fans don't want to hear, in Todd McLellan, also a possible name that we're hearing for Leafs head coach.
All right, a lot there, Linz. We are expecting the official announcement, again, to happen tomorrow from Leafs management. We're going to be hearing from them tomorrow. Do you have any details? Who's going to be there? What do you think they're going to say?
Well, it's going to be interesting. So I've been covering this team in person for over a decade, as well as the Leafs and the Jays. It goes on and on and on. But for me, what's interesting, besides seeing President Brendan Shanahan, who many are saying they would love to see a change in that department as well, because 10 years as president, the only thing they've really seen is, hey, they made it to the second round, but that's not enough. But he will be there. GM Brad Treliving, but the big and interesting one is that the MLSE new president will be there. And I can tell you that I haven't really ever seen the president of MLSE, because, well, they haven't had one for a while, come to a season-ending availability for one of the teams they're involved in. So I think it's going to be very interesting what he has to say about the changes.